damn it. I just somehow realized about something what today is today. Let me guess. It's the unlucky 13th day, isn't it? Yeah, to be more specifically, Friday the 13th. Oh, crud. Anyway, hey, what's up everybody? I am the one and only Pac-Man here, and I am Ray the Flying Squirrel here, and then I am the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here, and we are back for yet again for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos, as always. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. So, last time that we somehow managed able to get started with level 3, and no, we actually did this pretty decently, despite that we did somehow manage to fail quite a few times, but regardless of anything else though, let's just go ahead and purchase the final costume for Lisa Simpson, so because hopefully we can able to actually get some progressioning for level 3, so and also during that time though is the fact that you somehow managed able to complete it 3 missions so far. So today, for this video, is the fact that hopefully you might as well able to actually wrap things up the rest of these story missions in level 3. So yeah, let's get this thing to it, shall we?
Grandpa, can you help me find Bart? He's missing.
Maybe I'm just a senile old man, but Bart's lucky red hat fell out of that black car.
Wow, Grandpa, what a great clue. You showed why senior citizens are valuable members of the community.
I think my baby teeth are growing back. That's why I had to punch that nurse.
I better use something big if I want to take that car out. Like that school bus.
Well, so apparently we need able to buy a school bus, and we need exactly 300 coins in order able to buy that particular school bus. So, yeah, and in fact the matter is though, is the fact that it's a good thing I somehow managed able to buy the final costume for Lisa. So because of that though, we can able to expect that hopefully I'll try to able to farm some more coins, especially that we're going to be able to try to explore for this new area that we haven't exactly explored yet. So yeah, but that's a good thing we somehow managed able to save this area until for later. So hopefully you might as well find yourselves not only some more level gags, as well as the forms of some more wasp cameras here and there, and on top of all that stuff though is the fact that you will come across into that particular box crate that obviously contains even what else, more coins here and there. So yeah, everything else will be expected at this point, and in fact, that luckily for you, that you somehow managed able to get quite enough coins to able to actually buy the school bus right now. So yeah, just before I know it, noticing this, because either way though, I'm just essentially just managed to able to make my way as quickly as I possibly could, at least as far as I can usually try to describe about this for the most part. Well, at least as far as what I've noticing this from the start. So yeah, a few things we want to explain for this point today is the fact that, like we said before, ever since the very beginning of this video, unfortunately though, this is our unlucky 13th day. To be more specifically, today's day is of course the, well, the Friday the 13th of May 2022.
Look, I don't have any special brownies left. I ate them all.
But do you think I can use your school bus?
Oh, right. Cool. Meet my price and she's all yours, little lady.
Okay, so we can able to buy the school bus, but again, cost about 300 coins. So it's a good thing I did manage to able to get enough, so I can able to buy the school bus. So that way, we can instantly manage to able to get started with the next mission. So, yeah, that pretty much explains it for the sake of time. So, yeah, so I believe in this particular mission, despite the fact that, usually relatively speaking, the mission's name is called Operation Hellfish. So basically, we need to destroy that particular black Sindons to find out the clue. So because of this though, that is what the actual school bus comes into play. Excuse me, I got something on my throat there, I do apologize for that. So, few things we want to explain for those points today is the fact that somehow we managed able to come across into some unlucky, unfortunate events has been happening for the sake of the forms of certain fans out there for ND Worlds and all that stuff. Although, apart from the fact that there's one in particular game that we might be optimistic with this, and that's what appears to be by the forms of Gunbrilla, which not only does it usually contain some very, very cool sprites, as well as the art style, but also, get this though, is the fact that the coolest aspect about the forms of Gunbrilla is the fact that you can able to actually can tell that you would be able to miraculously use the gun or the umbrella, so that way you can able to hook up on things. So, concept-wise, pretty cool. But as far as we're able to actually get it though, we'll just have to wait until 2023's release. So, that might actually took a bit of a long time to able to actually get into that stuff though, so... But you know, you get the idea about that, so... Anyway, so let's go and pop over to the theater here. So hopefully, we would be able to actually just, well, go across into that next segment right here. So, at the very least, that's something to behold, I guess. So, taking some more shortcuts here and there. So yeah, you get the idea of how what Mighty is actually doing on this whole time for the sake of defaults at this level so far. So, although despite the fact that unfortunately though our preview you know, video clip is somewhat lagging again, so to be expected at this point. So, and of course we need to able to destroy another black sedan, which because of that though we just want to able to destroy it as quickly as possible, so just in case we can able to actually guarantee to able to destroy another vehicle before the time runs out, and you name the rest. So, but hopefully by that time, until specifically when it gets to Monday or something like that, then hopefully I'll try to fix that little issue right here with that. You know, the preview video footage just keeps lagging every single time. Yeah, no, especially noticeable. It's very annoyingly inconsistent sometimes, especially noticeable that sometimes it just manages to delay our commentary sometimes when it comes to timing and what have you, so... But anyway, so now we need to deal with another black sedan again, but this time we're going to be able to hopefully try to get this out. Oh crap, we got ourselves the hit and run mode right from the start, but at least hopefully you're able to... Nice. Nicely job in my parts, especially noticeable that I somehow managed to destroy that particular last black sedan. As soon as when the hit and run just somehow managed able to show up with all the police cops and everything. So, anyways, let's pop over to the casino to, well, what else? Do the next mission by talking to Chief Wagon, just right near to us.
Excuse me, Chief Wiggum? Can you help? I've got to find my brother.
Sorry, little girl. I'm busy collecting evidence on Jailbird. We're busting him on the 3 strikes law.
How many strikes do you have so far?
No strikes. But that's only because I'm a very, very bad cop. Now, first of all, if we're gonna go undercover, you will need a disguise.
You mean like an eye patch?
Hey, good one. If we could afford a disguise like that, I wouldn't be getting paid in potato chip coupons.
So what disguise do you have?
Well, here's one of Ralph's old Halloween costumes.
Fine, wait here and I'll get changed.
Okay, so apparently we need to able to dress up as cool clothes, despite the fact that we've already technically wear one from the likes of the forms of in yesterday's video. So that's going to be one of my unlucky moments here and there, because I somehow managed to equip the wrong clothing. But at the very least I did show you guys the actual another costume for Lisa on screen. So at the very least that's that you can show off. So yeah, let's get into the forms of another discussion for this point today, such as for instance with the forms of that particular, well, the update for the sake of the forms of the Switch sales so far, as the new forms off by the end of March this year. So, of course, some new titles have now been included, such as for instance that, well, technically Pokemon Legends Arceus still appears. However, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is actually the newest game that is actually added to the lineup for the sake of the forms of the best-selling Switch games so far. Although we'll get into more details about that later, because for now, it looks like that Mighty might need to able to pop over to see, you know, the comic book guy in that particular dungeon right here, so we can able to expect that he will immediately change into cool outfit again, so we could have able to actually just try to use it for later, instead of like, the beginning portion of the, level 3. Well, I'm guessing because I just always get confused with the forms of that particular order for the sake of the forms of trying to get specific costumes in mind, but my bad. Yeah, anyway though, aside from all that stuff though, usually relatively speaking that, yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is now the newest game, they're able to now add it in to the actual the sales numbers, so, and so far it's actually doing really well, so they, almost try to catch up to the forms of, Kirby Star Allies, sales numbers, but hopefully by that time until the next couple of months later, then, hopefully it should probably double up the sales, because as far as I'm aware, come on, what do you expect? It's a new Kirby game that is in 3D, which is pretty obvious because everyone else seems to really want to purchase that game now. Especially noticeable after waiting for so long, after, you know, so many years to come with all that, you know, Kirby now in 3D for the first time ever. So at the very least that's something, and also that hopefully that Maxi will able to actually go back into that game at some point. Maybe by the end of the, you know, this month in particular, because, well, you probably only know what I mean. So, anyways, let's go ahead and save our game quickly. So, just in case if our capture card does not get screwed up. Oh, speaking of which, though, is the fact that this is our second attempt for this recording session, by the way. Because, there's also another unlucky moment for this happening for this point today. That, for whatever reason, our capture card just somehow keeps on glitching out. Well, not just by the forms of the footage itself, thankfully, it's more something to do with the forms of the stop capture and start capture program decides to able to randomly decide to able to glitch out for some reason. So yeah, it might be very annoying and inconsistent with this particular stuff in mind, but usually relatively speaking, it's just the fact that it's a little bit of an annoying coincidence when it comes to like the having that particular issue, but thankfully, though, that it doesn't usually happen anymore because obviously it's now been fixed and all that jazz, so we don't need to able to worry about that much issues from here. So, okay, so this mission right here is the fact that we need to able to find 3 strike items by chasing down Snake, because if you somehow lost the track of him, or to be more specifically, if you accidentally missed one of those items, you failed the mission entirely. So, yeah, you get the idea about that, so... But I just get a strong feeling about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that, well, usually I'm doing really well so far, because obviously I've just managed to able to kick Snake's butt, no problemo. Well, for the most part anyway, though, so, yeah, let's just head back into the casino bit, at least as far as I can usually tell.
I hope Bart gets blamed for...
And strike 3, littering. All right, we got all we need on this lowlife. Now, about your brother. I've seen lots of mysterious government types over at the docks. Maybe they send him on a nice cruise. They got some great package deals these days. 5 buffets per boat inclusive.
Thanks, Chief. You are a good cop after all.
You're just saying that.
Yes, I am.
And there you go, mission complete. So, yeah, I always found this mission to be a total cakewalk, especially noticeable after the events of, well, you know what I mean. So, yeah, it looks like you're now on to mission number 6, at least as far as progression goes, and you've got 48.8% done. So, it looks like you're getting pretty close to the halfway point in terms of, level 3, for the sake of the forms of 100% completion. So, yeah, it looks like I'm almost gonna be getting there for this point, so... Yeah, anyway, so it looks like next up you're about to be hit onto might be something to do with the forms on the other side of this particular... You know, let's just say the forms of that particular segment, which I honestly totally forgot what that particular location is called, because it's been about quite a few hours since we actually last played this. Especially noticeable because after doing some research and all that jazz. So as a result though, hopefully I should probably find my way to not only trying to able to grind for more of those specific items, but also just grind for more coins in case there are some expensive items every now and then. But either way though, you get the idea about the actual specific topic we like to mention about. So yeah, we really do apologize about the forms of our commentary. It gets really awkward, especially noticeable because again, here we are on the Friday the 13th, the unlucky day of this year so far. Especially noticeable because we seriously got paranoid about that stupid little preview video edits and stuff like that. It just keeps on slowing down, which as a result though, it can actually cause our delay for the timing with the commentary along with it. But as you can see, we got ourselves another collectible card, and this time what appears to be Bart's soul. And luckily for you, you somehow managed able to did that part within the first attempt. So, sometimes it might be pretty tricky to reach, because other times though you have to rely on the forms of trying to utilize the forms of the depth perception. So, at the very least, that's something you can able to actually classify for something like this. So, okay, so I just need to able to get on here to grab one of those coins. Well, it really doesn't matter because relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that hopefully I should probably be able to actually consider to able to, well, I don't know how far I'm in when it comes to vehicles, even though that will try to research on that particular stuff from that particular progression for vehicles until later. So yeah, at least it's still running again with all that preview window space so far for the sake of the forms of that particular stuff though. So let's go ahead and just take a ramp and destroy that Mr. Burns' little LED lights or something like that, which I'm pretty sure it's like a reference to something related to the beginning portion of, let's just say one of those episodes in Season 10, where, you know what I mean, with Homer and Nerd Flanders are about to be able to go out for gambling in Las Vegas, so yeah, I totally get the picture.
Chief Wiggum said there was some strange stuff going on around here. Have you noticed anything weird? You know, black sedans, guys with dark glasses.
Yar, maybe I've seen something, and maybe I haven't. Render me a favor, and it might jar me memory. Haha.
What favor?
I've got a shipment here of live mackerel. Can ye navigate the fishies to the finest restaurants in the Squidport?
Those poor fish! I mean, sure, I'll help.
Okay, so the next mission we have is Fishy Deals. On second thought though, I was originally trying to able to do this mission, but let me take care of the forms of other stuff first, because it looks like that we might be able to take care of some extra stuff first. So, in this case though, yeah, as soon as I get into the car, then basically though is the fact that the actual mission starts. So, yeah, because obviously we do need to aim for, you know what I mean, with all that fishies and all that jazz. So, but before I start the mission proper, I need to take care of wasp cameras and also some other extras here and there as well. Like, for instance, if we go inside here and just interact with this blue sparkly stars on it, and then basically we're able to get on top of the lighthouse and get another collector card. And this time what appears to be Lisa Lionheart. So, that's actually pretty swell if I do say so for myself right there. Yeah, and on top of all that stuff though, yeah, I think I should probably just restart the mission. So, I honestly have no idea why I just somehow reset that, but either way though, it knows what it is, for I think anyway though. So, anyways, let's get this thing to it, to obviously do this mission proper, so. And in fact, the matter is though, is the fact that some people might say that this mission might actually be one of the hardest from the likes of in level 3, mainly because of the forms of our fact that, well, collecting 22 of those fishies, as you can tell on that particular display on the top left corner, might not be too hard, but the only hardest aspect about this mission, at least for us anyway though, is the fact that it's going to be a lot of emphasis on traffic all over the place. So, yeah, because most of the time though, that the actual AI with those specific cars, especially noticeable for certain random Simpsons drivers, can sometimes feel a bit random and luck-based, so. And also that if you keep on restarting some of these missions for the sake of the forms of in level 3, you might keep on hearing a lot of Lisa's reusing dialogue every time any of you are able to trigger something like, you know, speed things up or anything else to be more specific, which I know some people might find it a bit tad annoying, but regardless of everything else though, that's as far as we can able to imagine that, so. And unfortunately our computer decides to lag again, which isn't good. Yeah, especially noticeable that we can't really tell of what's going on in this footage, so. It's a bit of a nuisance, I'm telling you, but regardless of such though, it has to be, unfortunately, because, well, we were expecting if we can able to actually just to see how we can able to actually see, you know what I mean. So, yeah, because we're just gonna have to deal with it for this point today. So, I suppose while this is going on, another thing we want to explain about this, let's get back into the forms of that conversation about, you know, some of these Nintendo Switch games have been sold so far. Like, to be more specifically, number 1 is still Mario Kart 8 Deluxe within, this time around, 45.3 million copies sold, as in, you know, by the end of March this year. So, yeah, it looks like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not going to give up for the sales records now. I'm guessing it's probably because of the forms of thanks to that particular DLC has been released. So we can pretty much expect that it might actually increase a lot more money for the sales numbers. So that's pretty incredible if you ask me, especially noticeable that we still manage to play the game most of the time, despite the fact that we still keep on playing through you know, Mario Kart Tour again, despite how we always get OMG with that particular game in mind. So that won't be that fun for our part, because either way though, sometimes we always get frustrated with the game due to its bad controls, or even especially noticeable with, well, you know what I mean. And it also doesn't help about the fact that until specifically on next Wednesday, of course, like you said, there will be another let's just say the Team Rally Tour coming up, so yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Especially noticeable, it's always going to be like a 50-50 gamble chance in order able to actually get that right combination team. Although, to be fair though, that relatively speaking, that we will get doctored variations of, you know, Peach and Bowser, basically. So yeah, that's basically that.
Thanks for delivering me catch of the day. Now, I can tell ye, I saw your brother.
Really? That's great.
Aye, he was in a long black limo, and ahoy! There's he drove!
Okay, so now we ended up in, I would say, the final mission in level 3. So in this case though, before I start to do that though, I need to quickly go ahead and try to explore the majority of the forms of, let's just say, if there was actually a ramp right over there. Oh, wait a second, I keep thinking about another level coming up. Yeah, because the only way we can able to actually get to the ship right there, basically you have to get onto the lighthouse, and then if you somehow manage to able to activate the elevator, which leads you to the very top of this lighthouse, and then you have to put up with the forms of that very, very weird camera angle. So, oh, can I reach it? Oh, nice. So that way, you can able to actually not only grab some more coins, but maybe potentially then you might able to actually find another collectible card. And on top of all that stuff though, we've got Lisa's Valentine card. And wow, we only got one more collectible card left. And that might actually be on the most obscure place out of them all though. And of course, we are easily taking down the Wasp camera, as you probably already know. So yeah, you get the idea of how this is going to turn out. So yeah, another thing we want to explain is that Animal Crossing New Horizons is still on second place, but as far as this point for this update for the sales numbers, that game has now been sold for about 38.64 million copies sold, so pretty impressive if I do say so for this point. So, and third place still goes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because obviously since that the DLC is now concluded, although I'm pretty sure that most people still are buying, you know, not only for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but still buying some DLC characters along with it too. So that way it'll make things tons of fun to play through. So, and fourth place still goes to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And maybe potentially they'll be able to actually double up the boost after the events of that disappointing news from the likes of the forms of Breath of the Wild 2 being delayed until next year in 2023. Speaking of which though, is the fact that you remember what we said before about the fact that with Gunbrilla ND game, it was supposed to be able to actually be coming. Well, as far as we said this earlier, that game will be released also during the forms of 2023. So at the very least, that's something, I guess. And fifth place goes to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, before I get into more details about that, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate so far now actually has 28.17 million copies sold so far, which is very good. And for Breath of the Wild, they've got 26.55 million copies sold, so that's very impressive. Pokemon Sword and Shield has about 24.27 million copies sold. For Super Mario Odyssey, it has 23.50 million copies sold. And for Super Mario Party, seriously, Super Mario Party is still doing very well, despite the fact that the recent Mario Party game just recently came out, Mario Party Superstars, that hopefully it'll continue that selling records during the later months to come. So yeah, for Super Mario Party, so far, got about 17.78 million copies sold, so it's almost like 20 million. So, you know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, so let's just go ahead and buy that particular donut truck, which generally we already did. So, yeah, you can pretty much have the fact that we, well, as far as I'm aware, that you've almost buy every single vehicle for this point, I guess. So, I think relatively speaking though, that you're pretty much almost done here, so, well, despite the fact that I felt a bit awkward slightly because, well, still, yet again, having some issues lately with all that, well, you know what I mean with that computer lagginess again, so, but that again though, hopefully, until by that time, until whenever we get to the, you know, the next day, which should be on Monday, the 16th of May, hopefully we won't come across into that issue ever again, but sometimes it can feels a bit of a pain at times, especially noticeable if you think that it will run like very, very flawless, but it turns out that it might not run that very well every now and then, so yeah, I can totally understand for all that outdated software laptops every now and then, because they now moved on to the next generation of any other laptops these days, but you know, you get the idea about that. So anyway, continue with your sales records update so far for certain Nintendo Switch games. Oh yeah, as far as I'm aware, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are now on to 14.65 million copies sold so far. And as far as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, they are both sold for about 14.53 million copies sold. So it's like slightly lower in comparison to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and of course Sword and Shield. So, I guess that's about right. And for number 10 though, it will be Ring Fit Adventure. So, yeah, for the sake of the forms, we're trying to do a lot of fitness. For if you guys managed able to still stuck in the forms of that particular pandemic and all that jazz. And 11th spot goes to, well, as far as Ring Fit Adventure, as far as that game is concerned, when it comes to sales numbers, basically that game is now sold for about 14.9 million copies sold so far, so that's pretty decent, I guess. And as far as everything else though, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is still on 11th place, and apparently that particular port to a Wii U game somehow still managed to continue still doing so well when it comes to the sales numbers. Like usually New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe has now got 13.31 million copies sold so far. And everything else though, ranging from Splatoon 2, it's now got 13.30 million copies sold, because thanks to the forms of the Octo expansion. And on top of all that stuff though, with the actual celebration of the release of Splatoon 3 coming up until, you know, the 9th of September, and unfortunately we've got busted. So because of that though, let's just go ahead and restart the mission, because I just seriously got screwed. So yeah, let's get to it with the final mission in level 3. In terms of story missions, as far as this is concerned, basically we need to destroy that particular car before time runs out, so, and hopefully we can able to actually rescue Bard for reals. Well, assuming if he's gonna be alright, so. Anyway, so yeah, for Splatoon 2, yeah, got 13.30 million copies sold, so that's good. And as far as everything else, Pokemon Legends Arceus has now got 12.64 million copies sold, so that's very impressive, especially noticeable it's in a different take from the Pokemon franchise as far as pushing forward as far as this is concerned. And as far as the forms of Luigi's Mansion 3 is in 14th place. Oh, come on, I always get screwed over. Hold on, let me cancel out the mission, because I think I just got a good idea, because let me go ahead and pick a different card, because I don't think this card will be able to do justice. So In this case though, let me just go ahead and quit. Not get back into the car, but I'm going to the actual phone booth teleportation box. Or you're making a reference up from the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and equip the school bus here, so that way we can able to do some more toughness here and there, so at the very least that'll be my part of a plan after all. Anyway, what are you about to say, Pac-Man? Oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 is still on 14th place right now, so in this case though, that game is now sold for about 11.43 million copies sold, so potentially speaking, that Luigi's Mansion 3 is now officially the best-selling, well, Luigi's Mansion game of all time now. Yeah, which is especially true because it was on a Nintendo Switch, so... And number 15 goes to Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, although it doesn't add that much as sales numbers. Like, usually so far it's got up to like 9.43 million copies sold. Well, mind you, because it's like, you know, almost like a year-old port or anything else to be more specific. So, yeah, I guess it's understandable. Nothing different from Super Mario 3D All-Stars, still stuck in 9.1 million copies sold because of that stupid, you know, discontinuation kind of system. And for Monster Hunter Rise, got 7.17 million copies sold, even though it's not that usually changed. Although, during that time though, hopefully we were able to actually hear about some DLC expansion coming up, so yeah, that might be sort of reasonable. For Super Mario Maker 2, sadly not much, because usually it doesn't change the actual sales numbers, I'm afraid, so it usually still stuck in, you know, 7.15 million copies sold, which I don't get it. How come New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is doing so well, but as far as Super Mario Maker 2 is concerned, they still have not increasing the actual sales numbers. But, luckily, on the 19th spot, as far as this is concerned, we actually got ourselves Mario Party Superstars, as in 6.88 million copies sold. So it's definitely a little bit better than the forms of how it does it on the top 100 though, that's for sure. Especially because, you know, this is on the Nintendo Switch of course, so to be expected at this point. And for The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake, it actually got 5.45 million copies sold, although I'll talk more details in the next day.
Guilt! Oh God, I destroyed the limo and killed Bart!
No murderer ye be. He wasn't in the limo. He got out and he boarded that ship.
Can you take me there?
Nah,
He just said, I hate this scene. Anyway though, so the last thing we need to do is the fact that we need to able to get on board on that particular ship. But how do we get there exactly? Well, I know there is technically a ramp that you can able to actually get into, like specifically like, I don't know, like over there, that we somehow did not notice at first. So yeah, I honestly have no idea where I'm about to be going. I almost get freaked out for a second, so yeah, because you almost run out of time as well. But again, if your time runs out, you have to do this entire destruction thing again, and you have to go back to square one again with this mission, so yeah, because as a result though, that is when the later mission starts to get a lot more tougher these days, which, to be expected with most difficulties every now and then, so anyways, let's go ahead and drive through here. There's the actual ramp, and that way we'll drive through this little sign, and oh god, that was something else entirely. Yeah, in fact, it's almost gonna smoke, so yeah, you probably need to be very quick on this part because, well, as long as you weren't able to actually get the reg, and then just try to restore the bus, just like that. Before you see Bart, I need to double check what's beyond here, so just in case I don't seem to be able to missing something here. In fact, I'm pretty sure you've pretty much already explored this area, so apart from the fact that you already found the level gag, so where is he? Oh jeez, I had a horrible feeling about the fact that I'm actually missing something here. Yeah, it's gonna be another one of those unlucky moments for this point today for you, Mighty. Until, not now. So at least you found him, at least.
Bart, I found you! Bart, gotta wake him up. Bart, how old are you? What's your favorite catchphrase?
Kiss my grits.
It's no use. His brain is even more broken than usual. All I can do is take you home.
And we've somehow rescued Bart, and after that, the level 3 is accomplished. So, despite I am missing one bonus mission, and 3 street races to tackle, and only 1 more collector card, and also 3 more vehicles to purchase, and you've only got 1 wasp camera left, which it might appear to be around here somewhere, but I'm sure I will investigate that at some point on Monday. So, yeah, with that being said, folks, I think we should probably end things off at this point right here. So join us next time for more Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run. Is the fact that hopefully I'll try to 100% through everything in terms of the majority of level 3. So, yeah, we're really hoping that you won't be able to come across into any unlucky moments, unlike today, though. So, we'll see you guys on Monday. Later, fellas.